Someone asked in the comments, why does God talk to you? I am an avatar of God, the Arcturians, Muhammad and Aisha, Krishna and Radha, and Matthew and Joan of Arc.
Support the making of a movie about Prophet Muhammad and Aisha.
Greetings from God and the Arcturians and Commander Ashtar and all of us. I just got a message from God and the Arcturians, and I'm kind of mind blown a bit. There's been a positive development. I mean, God is telling me, and the Arcturians are telling me that there's been a positive development when it comes to Hollywood's Dwayne Johnson, also known as The Rock. So, Dwayne Johnson, if you're still watching me, then please watch this video till the end, because before I go into your positive development, I do have to go into something else. Because last night I was twisting and turning, and I was, having difficulty going back to sleep. And then it's one of those times when spirit can come through to me, and I sensed someone's spirit through my third eye. I actually saw Hollywood's Robin Williams' face through my third eye, and I was like, hang on, I know him. It was like I knew his face, but I was having difficulty remembering his name. So it took me a few minutes to remember his name. And then I was like, oh yes, of course, this is Hollywood's Robin Williams. And then I remembered that he's dead. He's on the other side. Like, his spirit is on the other side. So I was like, okay, so his spirit is coming through to me. And then, of course, I kind of vaguely remembered that he died by suicide, or what looked like a suicide, because that's another message I'm getting, that it was not exactly a suicide. So it was forced suicide through black magic, through sacrificial magic, through suicide magic, is what I'm getting. And whatever else kind of magic would have been involved. But that's just the message I'm getting for now regarding Hollywood's Robin Williams' suicide. It was not suicide. It was what we would call forced suicide through black magic, through sacrificial magic, through suicide magic, etc. That's what I'm being told by God and by the Arcturians and by Robin Williams' spirit. And Robin Williams' spirit is also telling me who was behind it. And I'm getting He's telling me it was Hollywood's Dwayne Johnson, aka The Rock, who was behind his forced suicide. Now, regular people would be like, oh, he was already depressed and maybe he had already attempted suicide and that he was drinking a lot as well, etc. But that's exactly what would make him the perfect target for this kind of thing, and an easy target for this kind of thing, because for suicide magic, for sacrificial magic through black magic, etc. Because to make him a sacrifice to the devil, and I'm getting specifically to make him a sacrifice to Baphomet. So, it would make him an easy target, a perfect target, because he was already vulnerable and weak. So, throw in extreme. I'm getting the word extreme. Extreme death magic, sacrificial magic, suicide magic on top of it. And that's what pushed him over the edge. That's what I'm getting. That's what pushed him over the edge. And the fact that, of course, celebrities make other celebrities a sacrifice too. And then I was like, why is all this coming up for me? And why is Robin Williams' spirit coming through to me? And then I got the answer. It's because Dwayne Johnson has been doing the same thing to me. He offered me up to Baphomet as a sacrifice. I've talked about this here on my channel in my previous videos, in a couple of previous videos. It's because Robin Williams' spirit is coming through to me with this message, because Dwayne Johnson did the same thing to me, basically offered me up as a sacrifice to Baphomet too, and been doing magic on me. So that's why. And Robin Williams' spirit is also telling me that he wants justice. But I'm also getting the message of redemption at the same time. Like, God is telling me, and the Arcturians is telling me that God is telling me that Dwayne Johnson has been praying for redemption. Like, he's coming around and he's been praying to God for redemption. That's what I'm being told. So if you're watching me, Dwayne Johnson, still, and you end up watching this video, and if you've been praying to God for redemption, God is telling me that God is offering you redemption. Okay? Because you've been praying to God for redemption. So God is offering you redemption because God has heard your prayers. And God is answering your prayers through me. And God is letting you know this through me, that God has heard your prayers and God is offering you redemption. And I'm also being told that God and the Arcturians and Spirit has been working on Dwayne Johnson on my behalf, because he was, trying to make me a sacrifice to Baphomet as well. So I suppose this is why this is happening. Okay. And God and the Acturians are also telling me that this is to set an example for the rest of the Hollywood involved in this thing of making people and other celebrities sacrifices, offering other celebrities and people like me, but also just whoever, just people in general as well, and offering them up as a sacrifice to Baphomet basically. And now, wow, and now Bohemian Grave is coming to my mind. So they're giving me Bohemian Grave, and they're telling me that that place, Bohemian Grave, is all about Baphomet. Wow. Even I get mind blown with all this information that comes through me, because God and the Arcturians, start telling me about these things, and these things that are hidden from the general public. Like, ordinary people aren't even aware of any of this, because this is what goes on behind the scenes, behind closed doors. This is, what's hidden from ordinary people. Hang on, did I accidentally say Bohemian Grave? Or did I say Bohemian Grove? If I accidentally say Bohemian Grave, I meant to say Bohemian Grove. But again, that's interesting that it came out like that, because maybe it wasn't so accidental. Maybe I just channeled that, because it is kind of like a grave too. If, it's about sacrificing people and doing death magic on them, then it's like a grave too. Like, it's that kind of place. So, anyway, yeah, I was just thinking. So, yes, God and the Arcturians are telling me that Bohemian Grove is all about Baphomet, and it's all about sacrificing people to Baphomet. And let's not forget that this is human sacrifice we're talking about here. People who are indulging in human sacrifice to the devil, to Baphomet specifically, even in this day and age. This is what's going on even in this day and age. Human sacrifice. And of course, soul sacrifice as well. Because obviously, you're sacrificing the soul of that person to Baphomet as well. Because you're offering up the soul of that person to Baphomet as well. So this is about human sacrifice and soul sacrifice. Even in this day and age. Like, people are indulging in human sacrifice even in this day and age. But anyway, I guess that's why they say God is merciful, because in the end, after everything is said and done, in the end, God will forgive you for the most extreme transgressions, even something like this, even something like human sacrifice, soul sacrifice, murder, all of it. If you just decide to turn to God instead of the devil, instead of Baphomet, you decide and you choose with your free will given to you by God that you choose to turn to God instead, and you pray to God, and you pray for redemption, and you pray for forgiveness, God will grant it to you. And this is the message coming from God right now, and also the Arcturians, but God mainly, that God is offering redemption to you, Dwayne Johnson. Because you've been praying to God for redemption. Because you want to come around and you've turned to God, or you're turning to God instead of the devil, instead of Baphomet. You're turning to God, and you've been praying to God for redemption, so God is offering you redemption. Now, actually, I'm also getting Sananda. Sananda is the higher self and galactic self of Jesus. And I'm also getting the current US President, Joe Biden, and the message that Joe Biden needs to do the same. You know, what Dwayne Johnson has done, and God is offering Dwayne Johnson redemption because of it. The current US President, Joe Biden, needs to do the same. Just saying, you know, because God and the Arcturians are giving me Joe Biden as well. So that's the message coming through for current US President Joe Biden from God and the Arcturians. But is he going to do it or not? Well, I guess that's up to him. Because that's another thing I've mentioned here on my channel, that the current US President Joe Biden has offered me up as a sacrifice to Baphomet too, and has been doing intense death magic on me. So that's why God is bringing up the current US President Joe Biden as well here in this video message. God and the Arcturians and Commander Ashtar, and of course my soul. Have I delivered the message? I'm just asking God and the Arcturians. They're saying yes. And they're telling me to close it now. So greetings from God, the Arcturians, Commander Ashtar, and all of us, meaning Matthew from the Bible, Prophet Matthew, and Joan of Arc, and Krishna and Radha, and Prophet Muhammad and Aisha, because that's who we are at the soul level for Jews, Christians, Muslims, and Hindus. Over and out.